Welcome to Granny Shift, and I'm Ryan.
And I'm Jason.
And this is not a minute of Fast and Furious.
No, we're kicking off 2023 with something special.
Yeah. Something we probably should have done before this movie.
Probably.
We talked about this a while ago.
Yeah. There's a special movie that comes in at 3.5 in the franchise series. We did something like this before. There was what do you call these mini movies?
Well, this was just a short film, like a prequel.
Prequel.
This is like in the middle. Like the other one was prequel to Too Fast, Too Furious.
Oh, are you gonna start that? So on our live video, it is going to play in the background.
Oh, as soon as I minimize it,
I'll
stops.
just leave it up. All right. Yeah, so we have it playing there just so you guys can kind of see, but we're not actually playing the movie. We're playing the trailer for the movie. So the movie's 20 minutes long. If you remember, we did one in between Fast 1 and Fast 2.
Right.
And a lot happened in that, like really fast. There was so much.
It was basically like a montage. It wasn't like a plot.
It was like how Paul Walker or Brian O'Connor ended up in Florida.
Yeah,
and
how
all the
we
stuff
got from L.A. to Florida.
With a car and money and all that.
Yeah, how he got the skyline.
I feel like this one was the opposite. They could have actually covered all of this information in 3 minutes.
Yeah, basically it shows Dom meeting Han in Dominican Republic, which is where Fast and Furious starts.
Right.
Like the number 4. And it shows how Dom knows Spanish now.
Yeah, and a lot of it is in Spanish.
Right.
A lot of it's subtitles.
I would say 80% of the movie's in Spanish.
Yeah. And they show how they met the two guys that helped with the gas heist in the beginning.
Right. The one guy's in jail. They break him out very easily.
Yeah, they cut the chain link fence, and he crossed through it. That's it.
Yeah. Why is there anybody in jail if it's that easy to get out?
Seriously.
But Dom is like a well-known figure here in Dominican Republic.
Yeah, everybody knows him.
Yeah. And he sits down with this group of people for lunch. I don't know who they are.
Right.
But it's like Dom is like the head of that family, even
though
he's
in charge. Yeah.
Oh,
you're talking about the family. Yeah, it's like a home cooked meal.
Right.
In a backyard outside.
Right.
They're eating like beans and stuff.
This whole movie is one day. I think so. I mean, this whole 20-minute segment is one day.
Probably.
Because at the beginning, sorry, my phone keeps dinging. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, so the beginning actually starts in jail and with the guy with the funny hat. He's like saying all these like deep quotes.
Okay, yeah, I guess that's the night. We'll call that 12:30 a.m.
That scene ends though with him saying, "I won't be in here much longer."
Right.
And then they break him out shortly after through the chain link fence.
Right.
And then,
but Dom wasn't expecting Han, I don't think.
Yeah, so Dom's under his car working, and another guy comes up. I don't remember their names. It's the guy that... Santo. He dropped the hitch on the car that the Pancake Hat guy was driving. Truck.
Yeah, the opening scene from Fast and Furious.
If you can follow all that. And then Han walks up.
Yeah.
And he's like, who's this Chinese dude?
Right.
So where is Han from?
Well, he says he's never been east of the Atlantic.
But we met him in Japan.
Yeah,
that doesn't make him. But he's traveling the world, so he might not be from Japan.
Because the girl in this one asks Han, like, "No, where are you actually from?" And he doesn't answer that.
Yeah.
But like, we never see him before. Is this the first time we see him?
Han?
Yeah, this is the first time, timeline wise.
In the series,
the first time we see him.
Because Togo Drift came after this. Then it would be.
Wait.
He's not in the first two.
Yeah, so how is he? It's not really an introduction to Han.
He already knew him. Well, he explains it later when he's talking to the lady. That lady's grilling him at the party, and he says, I heard about Han because of street racing, and when I caught up with him, he got out of the street racing. Something
really?
Like that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Remember that lady that we couldn't figure out if she was into him or grilling him?
Right.
Yeah, so they end up that evening at a party. Was it the evening?
To meet Elvis,
It was lunch. Yeah, to meet this big, not big, just, rich guy? I don't know, important guy?
Yeah.
And he talks...
like a crime boss, basically. Right?
Yeah, he talks about getting a shipment to them, or to the water, But across the water, this part didn't quite make sense to me. It's up to them. He said,
Yeah, he's
whatever you
like-
want to do.
Right. If you want to do something, what does he say? Crazy or something?
Yeah.
Something. He says,
It was
yeah,
a word
basically
that-
they'll get him to the water, but after that he has no control.
But now we know the beginning of the fourth movie. They didn't do anything on the water.
But we see them partying on the beach with the tankers of gasoline.
I thought
It's like
what he was saying. Are we sure he was talking about the water? If he gets them to the port, and then in between ports, could be from one end of the Dominican to the other when the trucker's driving it across land. So he's saying we can get him, because he's saying that whatever you do to that trucker, that's up to you. I don't know anything about that.
oh
Giving them an opportunity to steal it. Like he sets
Oh.
up, gas is showing up here, here's the time frame, and then that gives them the window to steal it.
Hmm.
Because that's what they did, right?
right.
I don't know.
Yeah, because he didn't really help them steal the gas. They just told him. I guess they knew the gas was going to be there.
Right. And seems like how that situation would work. He's like, I get it here, and he's feeding them information. He's not actually doing the bad stuff, but
Right.
he's feeding them the bad stuff to do.
Yeah. The
Oh,
other
got a
one was
commercial
called
here.
Too Fast, Too Furious Turbocharged Prelude.
Oh, right.
That was the one in between
Yes.
1 and 2.
Now, after they talk to the guy and they're like, yeah, that's cool, Dom sits down with two girls and he's like kissing them. And then who do you know but Letty walks up and calls them skanks.
Yeah, she said, "It's not hard to find you. I just have to follow the smell of skanks."
Right.
Because that's
That's
what she
quite
referred
rude.
to. Because in the first movie, Dom has his arms around two females, and she
This was at the street race.
yeah, the street race, and she's like, "I smell skanks."
Yeah, it's always so weird though.
She said something
because-
about, "Why don't you leave before I leave skid marks on your face," or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, he doesn't seem like he got caught.
No,
He doesn't seem like he's not supposed to be doing it because he still sits with them, arms around them, and then he even says like goodbye to them as he gets up. But she's like very rude to him, so I don't know what. It's kind of a weird relationship they have.
Yeah, I think that. So he wasn't expecting her to show up there.
Yeah, we find out shortly after she just arrived. And
Right.
it surprised him because she's like, "So what's about to happen? Did I show up in time for some
Right.
action or something
right,
like that?"
right.
But they take a long drive in a convertible down a road going like 5 miles an hour. There's
Yeah,
little,
they're getting passed by like mopeds and
motorbikes with
motorcycles.
4 people on them.
yeah. So they're going pretty slow, but it's looks fun.
Yeah,
Makes you
they're
want to
just
buy a convertible.
enjoying time together. She's
Yeah.
like crawls up on top of him,
Yeah,
like a little dangerous, but you know,
something that would only work in a 1960s.
but not much. Yeah, right. You can.
Yeah, it just kind of
Plenty of room.
shows how the group that we see at the beginning of Fast and Furious got together.
Right.
Because when we watch just Fast and Furious, we're like, who are these people? Like, we don't know Han. Well, I guess we do.
We didn't know
We don't
Santo.
know how Han got there. Santo, Leo,
the
and-
girl that she was at the party too.
Right.
The one driver.
Yeah.
Was she a driver?
No,
No,
she was
passenger.
the thrower. Han was the
Thrower.
driver. She was the thrower. They kind of
So-
hooked up at the party, I think.
Oh, that was
They
the
like left
connection.
together. Yeah.
Okay. But then Dom takes Letty to a beach spot and they kayak and make out on the beach. Was that the end of it?
That was the end.
Yeah, so, all right. I can summarize this pretty quick. They break a guy out of jail. They talk about how they're going to steal the gas. Letty shows up.
Right. Yep.
That
and
was.
then the beginning of Fast and Furious, they steal the gas.
Yeah.
But throughout this, in a little bit, we get like people complaining. Like the one guy's talking to Santo, and he's like, "I tried to get you some more gas. All I got you was a half a gallon. That's all I could find."
Oh, right.
And then later, he's talking to his aunt, and she's like, "We don't have gas. Gas, the prices of gas go up, and everything goes up, and gas runs everything, and
We
so
can't afford more gas.
that's why
all
they're
that
stealing gas instead of DVD players,
stuff. Interesting. I thought they'd steal it and sell it, but I guess it was.
just
Use
to
it.
use."
He's helping all these poor people out.
But Han's handing out buku bucks. Where's he getting that from?
What do you mean, Buku? Where?
Like on the beach scene in Fast and Furious.
He was handing money out?
Yeah, he like
To
and
pay
Han
the
is like,
team.
"I don't want my money." I don't know.
He must be selling some of the gas.
Yeah.
Because weren't they talking about airplanes? They're going to sell to an airplane or something? Airport. That part didn't
Oh.
happen, but they mentioned like
Right.
we were trying to figure out, are they shipping it on the plane or are
Or
they
did we just make all
selling
that
it to
up?
the airport? Did we make all that up?
We might have like suggested that they do that. I think we
Now
might have
it's
made
got it.
that
I
up.
guess we'll find out. I did look a little bit like I was just curious, like how this film even comes into existence because it wasn't very well produced. The quality is pretty poor, and you can just tell there's no budget for it.
Right. And the best quality version we could find that didn't have constant background ads was 360p.
Yeah.
I found one 480p version out there, but nothing 720 or 1080. I couldn't even find a place to buy it. Like,
that's weird.
To even buy a hard copy of it.
I looked this up. Turns out this was a bonus on the extended or whatever DVD set. If you bought the
really?
the extra one that had extra features, this was a feature thing you could watch. It was also written, directed, and produced by Vin Diesel.
Right, but it has a Universal logo at the beginning. It's like owned by Universal.
Well, they put it in their DVD.
Yeah.
So they would have had to. But they certainly didn't spend any time on it.
No, I wouldn't say.
Did he direct or produce the other ones?
No.
They're just
I don't know who did 9. No, I think 9.
That's
9 the last one by Justin Lin.
At least at this point, they're like, here, you can do this one. He's like,
right.
all right,
yeah.
I'll come up with this.
I'm sure at this point in the, saga, he has a lot of input on it. I feel like he's the one keeping it going, right?
But he wasn't even in the last movie.
Which last one?
I guess he came in at the very...
Tokyo Drift.
Tokyo Drift.
I meant, currently, in today. I'm sure he has a lot of...
Oh, today. But when this was produced, he just skipped the previous 2 movies.
Yeah.
Huh. It would have made more sense to me if Paul Walker directed it. But he doesn't really do that. Never did that.
No, I don't think so.
Maybe Vin Diesel wanted to do it. He's like, hey, what can't I do? I sing, I act, I'm going to direct.
Yeah. So, in finding this movie, I found another movie.
Okay.
That maybe at some point we should watch. But it's a full-length movie. So, maybe for a Patreon night or something.
Okay. What is it?
It's called Better Luck Tomorrow. And it's another Justin Lin movie. Justin Lin does Fast and Furious. He did 3 to 9, I think.
Okay.
The director. And Sung Kang the story's about Han. Han is the main character in this movie.
Oh, so it's a spin-off or is it a completely different?
According to Justin Lin and Sung Kang, it is considered Han's origin story.
Oh, okay.
And I did see some reviews of people who were like, I watched this because I like Fast and Furious, and this movie didn't disappoint at all. I actually really enjoyed it.
Okay.
And it was darker than the Fast and Furious is, and
maybe
I don't
we
know how
could
much
just
it has to do
watch
with
it
racing, but
and enjoy it and not do a podcast.
Right, yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Just for fun.
Yeah.
All right.
Imagine.
I can't. I'm watching a whole movie?
So, go to Google and search for Los Bandoleros, and you will find it on Dailymotion or Vimeo. Dailymotion is the one that has a background ad on the webpage.
But you do get 120 more P's.
Yeah, that's a lot of P. A lot of P's.
Many pixels. All right, should we wrap this up and get back to our movie?
Yeah, let's watch minute 28. 9?
You're guessing.
8, I'm guessing. Thanks for listening. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Jason.
And always remember,
winning's winning. I think it's 20.